Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is me, and as you notice, it is the weekend. I am getting geared up for some low energy cooking. And I figured I might as well document it because I know a lot of people sometimes struggle with cooking, especially when they have no energy or they don't really know what they're doing. And honestly, cooking isn't that scary, but this might be coming from someone who has spent a lot of time watching a lot of Food Network. Yep, I'm a Food Network girl. So today I'm making for dinner a meal that has gotten me through college and is something that I still really like to make, and I've upped my game on it, and it's not your normal college meal. And I bet you're wondering, Jackie, this is you. Jackie, what is this super great meal that you're going to teach people how to cook today? Is it something that comes from your family history and is like a comfort meal to you? No, not really. Today we're making chicken tikka masala. Yep. Honestly, it's incredibly easy. I use some pre-made ingredients, but you can spruce them up and make it what you want. And it's super easy, and there's no need to feel intimidated. Look at my kitchen. Look at me. Look at your kitchen. Look at you. Look back to me and my kitchen. We are not professional chefs. There are no expectations here. The only expectation is that the meal provides sustenance, and hopefully it's going to taste good. I mean, my meal's going to taste good, because I made this before. I don't know how your meal's going to taste. But yeah, so come on with me for some pretty easy cooking. I'll probably put it in the description written out. But I don't use measurements. This is a warning. I don't use measurements, and I just kind of guess. I'm that kind of person. I'm really sorry. This is a formal apology. But let's get started because it's dinner time. I realize that my kitchen is not very filmable, in that it's just sort of like a little, have like an alleyway kind of kitchen. But the first step to chicken tikka masala is the chicken. I have thawed two chicken breasts, two formerly frozen chicken breasts, now thawed. Why two? Because this meal is going to last me 2 days. I'm assuming I eat one chicken breast a day. I don't know how you guys work, but that's how I work. The first step is to cut up the chicken into bite-sized pieces, like cubic, if you will. Cut it up into cubes. If we're being honest, the chicken's still kind of frozen, but I'm hungry and I know the video is going to bite into a lot of my cooking time. So we're going to cut up the chicken and put it into this bowl. Into the sink it goes, because we touched chicken. Hey, how you doing? Alright, we have chopped our chicken into cube-sized pieces and put it back in our plate bowl. The bowls that I usually like to do this in are my 90-cent Target bowls, but they're dirty. So now we're going to marinate the chicken. And this is where I preach to you about seasoning your food, especially your chicken. Chicken doesn't taste like anything. Season your food. I know what my complexion is. This is only part of my spice cabinet, because my mother raised me right. Shout out to Mom. So for this, we are going to marinate our chicken in some spices and some non-fat Greek yogurt. If you ever wonder how much I like Greek yogurt and use it on a daily basis. This is how I purchase Greek yogurt because it's more economically feasible for me this way. And you don't really need these many spices, I guess. Typically, I would just season the chicken with garam masala, which is an Indian spice blend, but I can't find the garam masala that I like. And so essentially I just end up making my own. And this way you can control like how much like spice and like other flavor is in this. And so this is where like the anti-measurement comes in, because I'm just gonna kind of like, we got some paprika, and I just kind of put in like enough for the chicken. And we got onion powder, and we got some turmeric. Turmeric is good for you. A tiny bit of cinnamon. A tiny bit of cloves. Some garlic powder. I'm running low on garlic powder. This is very scary. A little bit of chili powder. I don't like it too spicy. Some ginger. And I would say cumin would be like the biggest percentage of this. But that's just because I really like cumin. Okay, and you see that these are all covered in the spices. And it's just sort of like enough to coat like the chicken and get flavor on it. And next, I'm just going to put in like a few spoonfuls of yogurt. And the yogurt essentially is going to tenderize the chicken, and it's also going to like coat the chicken, so that when we cook it, it like has a nice like crust on it. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of mash this around. So we coat all of the chicken, and the spices are nice and blended in to the yogurt, and everything is getting flavor. It should smell pretty good, honestly. There's some extra water in this because I'm still using partially frozen chicken because I'm impatient. Alright. Okay, and then this is our chicken marinade. Now, I never really know how long to marinate it for. I know that technically like the longer is better. Usually I think I end up marinating it for like max 10 minutes because I'm a hungry girl and I don't have the time to wait. If I postpone this meal any longer, I'm going to be upset. And we don't really want that. So, essentially, I marinate it for the amount of time that it takes to set up my rice cooker and put away all the other things. We're changing the angle a little bit. And I keep forgetting where the frame of the camera is when I walk over here, so I'm just going to be as close to the thing that I focused on as possible. So, this is my Instant Pot. It is one of the best birthday gifts I ever got. Yep, I mean that. And this is what I use to cook rice. Now, typically for low energy cooking, I try and keep it to a one pot meal, but rice is super easy, and I want to show people how you can easily cook rice. This is the only thing that I ever measure. And rice is easy because they tell you exactly how to cook it on the back of the box usually. I use minute rice because it is cheap. Okay. The main thing That was everything that was in the box. That's about half a cup of rice. So the main thing is that you want to do 1 part rice to 2 parts of your liquid. And that's how you get super fluffy rice. This is something I learned from watching Jamie Oliver 15-minute meals. This is the value of instructional cooking information, okay? Is that it teaches white people how to make rice, okay? So I have half a cup of rice because that was what was left in the box. I put it in the rice cooker. I am now going to measure 1 cup of water. You can also use like chicken broth or stuff to like add flavor, but I don't want to do that. Next, we are going to season it with salt. This is my salt shaker. I got it for Christmas from my grandmother. We want seasoned rice. We don't want the rice to not have any flavor. That would be bland and sad. Okay. And then it just sort of goes. And you wait for it to stop. Okay. Are you done? Thank you. Now it's heating up so it can pressure cook the rice. And you just sort of set it and forget it. And then when it beeps again and it's done, you let it like sit for a little bit. And then you can like release the pressure and you're left with super fluffy rice. If you're doing it in a pot, you literally just do the same thing, but you boil the water first, and then you put the rice in, and then you wait for the amount of time that the box says, and then you come back and you have fluffy rice. But you don't touch it. Don't touch your rice while it's cooking, because you might mess with it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, but that's basically it for the rice. And now we can cook the chicken. It's been marinating for like a few minutes, so, you know, it's time to cook it. Now, cooking chicken can seem kind of intimidating and scary, but it doesn't have to be, okay? If you're scared about eating raw chicken, the one thing that I would tell you to invest in is a meat thermometer. I think I got this from Target. And you just can keep it right here next to your stove, and you just jab it in your meat and it tells you what temperature it is. And then you know that you won't get salmonella. Now, I have a big old pan because I got a lot of chicken to cook. And the first step, obviously, is to turn the oven on. And then you're going to put a form of fat in the pan. For a long time, like when I was in college, I would use just normal canola oil, or like a different flavorless oil would work. But now, since I am a grown-up, I have upgraded. And I now use ghee, which is clarified butter. And it's what like the Indian recipes online are going to tell you to use, because this is what the people in India use, I assume. I don't know. I've never traveled abroad. Yeah. It doesn't taste that much different. Well, it has a taste to it, but the taste elevates kind of like the rest of like the sauce and all of that. So you're not really missing out if you don't use it, but I definitely really like it. It was a little expensive, so maybe wait until you have a job. Or don't. I don't know. I don't know your life. So I'm going to turn it on. It's like a medium-ish heat. Not while I'm filming. There we go. And I'm just going to put like some in there. I don't need it to like coat the whole pan, but I'm going to put like 2 big old dollops and maybe what I can scrape off the sides. Yeah, and it's just going to melt. It's essentially like special butter, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like ingredients is just milk, so that's probably why it was expensive. And we're going to wait for this to melt down. And then when it melts down and sort of coats the bottom of the pan, that's when we're going to turn the heat up and put our chicken in. Alright. As you can see, it's all melted, and I've kind of swished it around so it covers the bottom of the pan relatively evenly. Now, this pan, like all pans, it's just going to like come to one side. So I'm just going to have to remember to like swish it around again. And now we're going to plop in our chicken. Some chefs will tell you not to crowd the pan. I don't care. And so I'm just going to start plopping this in, and then I'm going to raise the heat up. That was the Instant Pot telling me that it has come to pressure and is going to start cooking our rice. And we're just spooning the chicken in. The chicken's all nice and seasoned. I did remember I did not put salt or pepper on the chicken, but honestly, I forget that a lot, and I just put other spices on chicken. And the rice and the sauce and everything else will kind of, you know, add to the sodium content. Just gonna keep spooning this in. I didn't always do this with the chicken. Sometimes I just sort of like put some salt and pepper on it and then just cooked it that way. But since I learned about like marinating it and reading other recipes, honestly it's changed the game. Because there's some sort of, I think it's like the enzymes in the yogurt that break down the chicken and make it tender. And it tastes good, and the yogurt gets a nice little coating and traps in all the flavor of the spices. Okay, as you can see, I'm running out of room, so now I'm going to start crowding the pan. Normal chefs will tell you, don't crowd the pan, you're just doing it in like a bunch of rounds. But I don't want to cook in a bunch of rounds. Who do they think I am? Someone with time? I mean, like, technically I do have time, but I don't want to. I want my dinner now. I waited an inconvenient amount of time to start eating. And I forgot I had to cook my meal. This smells really good, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly the cumin. Alright, now that I've significantly crowded the pan, let's put this in the sink because it touched chicken. Okay, so now we're going to turn the heat up skosh, and we're going to wait for the chicken to cook. And then once the chicken is cooked, I'll probably get back to you. But for now, I'm just going to cook the chicken. Okay, so our chicken is all cooked. I'm going to scrape off any of the brown stuff from the bottom of the pan, because the pan is getting pretty hot now. I get it, I get it. And our chicken is golden brown and delicious. And I took the temperature of one of the bigger pieces, cooked all the way through. And now, it's time to add the sauce. Now, if you're someone like me, it can be pretty hard to eat out Asian food. And that's why I go with jarred sauce. This is what I refer to as the blue one. It doesn't have any nuts in it, or coconuts, which is what I gotta look out for. And jarred sauce is really great, because they already made it for you. And you just put it in there. And you can dress it up if you want. I really like this sauce, so I'm probably not going to dress it up any. I'm just going to stir it in, make sure all the chicken is in the sauce. And then I don't want anything to burn, so I'm going to turn my heat down to like a little bit below medium-ish. And then the best part is this sauce can just be put back in the fridge for later. Yeah, and we're just going to kind of let it simmer. You're not really waiting for anything, but you do want it to, like, I don't know, come to temperature. It has been in the fridge for, you know, a bit. And so I just want the sauce to heat up and sort of marry with the chicken flavors. So our rice went off. And it's been natural releasing for 12 minutes, but I'm going to quick release it. We're good. We don't need a quick release it. Now we're going to open it. And our rice is nice and fluffy. I forgot to bring over a spatula. But I'm going to unplug it because I don't want it to stick to the sides. And I don't really care about it, like, staying warm. That's what I was thinking of. I don't really care about it staying warm because I'm only going to have about half of it tonight. Sometimes I never know how much rice to cook, so I always do too much. Because then you get out for leftovers. And leftover rice can be pretty good. You just got to reheat it up with some water to rehydrate it. Alright. That's probably fine. I don't want like a ton of rice because I also have another side dish. Some naan. It was on sale today. So I'm going to put this in the microwave. And then I have another side dish. This is low energy cooking at its finest. Hell yeah, I'm going to have a whole piece. The last things that I like to put on my plate before I put on other things is we're back at it again with the yogurt. A little bit of that. And I got this hot mango chutney from Jungle Gyms. One of the perks of living near Jungle Gyms. Shout out to my Jungle Gyms girlies. And that honestly has been the most recent game changer for me. Because it adds like a sweetness that I didn't know I was missing. Whoop. And now we're going to plate with the tikka masala. We're using this one because it's the best at scooping. I just like divide it in half. That's for tomorrow. This is for tonight. And then right on the rice. And now we have like a full meal. Like I got rice, I got the naan, I had the chicken, I got yogurt, and I got the chutney. And I don't really feel like I did that much. And so this is Jackie's favorite thing to cook. Low energy. And if you had fun cooking along, join me next time. Maybe next time you can tell me something you like to cook, something you learn how to cook, something you want to learn how to cook. Blech. I'm excited to eat. I'll probably be back with another rainbow braid video. I'm trying to figure out something to fix my editing process because they can be a little bulky to edit. But don't worry, I'm still on top of that stuff. I just want to do some low energy vlogging content, some cooking stuffs. Yeah, check out the things that other people are doing, and I'll see you next time.